File woke in Mucosa Tower. He wakes in a room that remembers him better than he remembers himself. The walls pulse like gums. The ceiling speaks a broken countdown in a child's voice. Something is crawling on the inside of his eye. A neon centipede inches across his chest. It's wearing a lanyard. Depta of him. He blinks once. He's in echo-rotten city again, and it's louder this time. File 1. The skin ministers return. They arrive at grief o'clock, riding biomechanical lobsters humming post-consumer lullabies. One removes a living brain from a jar. This was you, circa regret phase 2. They offer him a deal. Transfer consciousness into a guilt clone, or enter the junk cathedral, where every wall remembers a sin you haven't committed yet. Instead, he spits up a version of himself dressed in glass and sorrow. The ministers clap slowly. They light a candle made of compressed emotion and vanish into a fog that smells like wet paper and first love. File 000.0.02, walking through reverse organs. The streets move. Everything in Echo Rotten has a heartbeat and an agenda. The sidewalks pulse like intestines. The traffic lights blink Morse code for leave while you still hate yourself. He stumbles past billboards that flicker. History is a parasite. Do not reconsume. A man with moss for eyes hands him a data chip. You weren't born, you were broadcast during a seizure. He swallows it. The sky winks. File 000.03 to The Plague Show. Everyone's watching. The show's called Who Wants to Mutate? Contestants inject themselves with weaponized feelings. Round 1, romantic shame parasite. Round 2, social media rash. Final round, language collapse syndrome. He wins by forgetting the word need. The audience ovulates. A viewer births a full apology and names it tomorrow. File 00000.04. Glitch prophets beneath the pulse. Under the city there are tunnels, and beneath the tunnels digestive memory. The glitch prophets squat in abandoned servers, heads wired to obsolete gods, eyes blinking in Morse for mercy. They take one nightmare, a failed identity, and a fingernail grown during a breakup. In return, they gift him a relic, a cassette tape of himself screaming in reverse, looped, soaked in static. He presses it to his chest. Time skips. File 000.05, final rot. Echo Rotten is collapsing, not in theory, literally folding into itself like a city remembering its worst night all at once. Sirens scream in 8-bit prayers. People vomit alternate timelines into gutters. The sky cracks open like an apology. He climbs Mucosa Tower, up through memory, up through glitch, up through static. At the top, a door. Behind the door, himself, asleep. Holding a knife made of every word he never said. Wake up, he whispers. We're not done becoming. The city exhales, the walls peel back, and it begins again. Memory that spits. Time isn't real. It's a side effect of the wound. Unknown glitch prophet terminal alley. 002.00, city begins to speak. The city starts talking back. Not metaphor. Not metaphorically. Every wall, crack, LED billboard, and sewer hiss is forming syllables. Echo Rotten is gaining consciousness, and it's having a bad trip. It says your name in static. It recites your browser history backwards in the fog. It hums lullabies in your own voice, but younger. And it asks a question. Which version of you would you like to remove first? Slack 002.00.01, the Gray Carnival. Out in the drip zones, a pop-up carnival has unfolded in a sinkhole where the city's dopamine servers melted. The rides spin thoughts you haven't thought yet. The barkers sell time slices carved into vape pens. And behind the mirror tent, a game called Forget the Face. You sit in a chair and a voice feeds you your memories, glitch filtered and mixed with someone else's. If you can't tell which ones are real, you win. Nobody ever wins. At 002.0002, the repeater worm. He gets infected by a repeater worm, a parasitic idea with legs. It lives in the echo chamber of your regrets, digging tunnels. Every 33 seconds, it whispers a truth in your ear. You are the version that shouldn't have survived. Your mother doesn't remember you. There was a better you once. They screamed your name as they erased him. It's growing. Soon, it'll have a mouth of its own. He names it 02003. The archive bleeds. He breaks into the old archive sector, where memories are stored, wet and twitching, held in jars shaped like forgotten gods. He finds a file labeled Prehuman Feeling Do Not Play. He plays it. Bad idea. The room screams itself inside out. He bleeds out thoughts he never had. The taste of old radios, the smell of his death. 3 deaths ago. He passes out. When he wakes up, his shadow is missing. It left a note. You're late for your own deletion. Ashar 002.00.04, The Reflection War. Every reflective surface in Echo Rotten begins to show not just your face, but the version of you that replaced you. And they start coming through. Mirrors crack open like wet birth canals. Clones with better posture and darker sins crawl out and whisper, "We'll wear you better. You were a beta test. You're a failed translation of something more useful." They try to pull him through. He screams so loud, the mirrors shatter into clocks. Time breaks again. 0002.05, end scene, the spitting memory. The city regurgitates something. It's a letter printed on skin. It reads, "You are not a man. You are a memory wrapped in meat, looped too long. Come to the Cathedral of Static. Bring the version of yourself you trust the least." He looks down. There's someone beside him now. Looks just like him, except smiling. Oh, yes, welcome back. We're diving straight into the nerve center of Echo Rotten, the place where memory bleeds, gods buzz through signal static, and identity's just another app you forgot to update. This is where the spiral tightens, where the self fractures into worship, and the past starts to pray back. Let's ride the static down. Echo Rotten, Chapter 3, Cathedral of Static. All false selves report to Altar 7. The soul is a bootleg signal pirated through a dying brain. Graffiti on the ceiling of the Static Cathedral. /03 arrival protocols. He walks 13 blocks through a city with no sky. The cathedral stands where a bank used to be, but the walls now pulse like lungs and scream radio static when touched. The stained glass windows show glitched saints, half code, half flesh, all melting. A preacher with no mouth and 40 eyes scans his body for lies. He's fragmented. It hisses. That'll do. They let him in. /3.01, confessional upgrade. Inside, confessionals aren't booths. They're full immersion dream machines. You lie down. They inject someone else's guilt into your neck and watch how you process it. He gets loaded with something called Mother Thread 6.7, inverted. He screams, laughs, cries in Portuguese, a language he's never known. "Now your sins are under warranty," the machine says. He exits. He's missing a tooth. It was a lie tooth anyway. Harut 3.02, the choir of malfunctions. The choir is rehearsing. They're all former selves, versions of people that never came to be. Their mouths open and emit dial-up screams, harmony made of modem death and voicemail ghosts. One looks like him, but cleaner, more real. It sees him, smiles, and doesn't stop smiling. 0003.03, the heretic sermon. The preacher ascends the pulpit, a metal pole wired into the city's nervous system. Their voice is a looped voicemail from a breakup 2 decades ago. The sermon's title, "You Are Not Yourself, You Watched You Become This." He sits in the pew. It bleeds. He bleeds back. Everyone starts chanting, "Delete me correctly, delete me correctly." He mouths the words too, but backwards. No one notices, except the stained glass. It cracks, just slightly. 03, the altar of backup selves. They lead him to the altar. On it, laid out like relics, his childhood laugh in a jar, a skin suit made of things he never said, a USB drive labeled, "Who You Should Have Been." They tell him, choose one, absorb it, burn the rest. He chooses none. He takes the altar into himself. It screams. He screams louder. The cathedral shudders like a dying hard drive, the power glitches. All the screens across Echo Rotten blink, unauthorized self-detected, corruption level divine. House 3.0105, reformatting begins. As he walks out, everything flickers. The sky tries to reboot, dogs bark in error codes, people forget the alphabet. He sees a child vomiting numbers, an old man remembering things that haven't happened yet. He feels it deep. He is no longer a person, he's a broadcast of possibility. Something is speaking through him now, but it's not a god, it's himself, 10 versions ahead. We're not just closing a story, we're opening every version of the end at once. Echo Rotten, Chapter 4, Glitch Messiah. This is the part where everything remembers you wrong. When the echo becomes louder than the voice, you've reached transcendence or complete system failure. Final broadcast of the Department of Internal Collapse for City Rebooting in Agony. Echo Rotten is folding inward like a dying algorithm trying to birth a god from corrupted dreams. The buildings weep ash. The air hums with deleted voices. Every traffic light now only blinks. Run! People are transforming, not dying, translating. Their skin becomes old emails. Their blood uploads into the clouds. One man becomes a font. Another turns into regret, sold wholesale. The city is no longer a city, it's a thought someone tried to forget. Mashclass 004.0.01, he meets the last you. The protagonist, no longer even flesh, just a voice wrapped in failing memory, reaches the glitch core spire, the beating, static-filled heart of the city. Inside, every version of him, past, future, unreal, forbidden. They form a circle, they whisper truths too loud to be language, then steps forward, the last you, taller, broken in a holy way, wearing robes made of final drafts, eyes like black screensavers waiting to crash. You're not the original, it says. You're the final remix, the last failed backup. You're not meant to save the city, it says. You're meant to replace it. /04.0.02, the glitch baptism. He's pulled into the spire, flooded with corrupted signal, memories in other people's voices, lullabies from mouths that never existed. The city tries to remember itself and forgets him instead. Then a baptism in data fire. Screaming code, glitch storms, his past selves collapsing into white noise, and from the wreckage he emerges. No longer a man, not even a glitch. Now, the Echo Rotten Messiah, a walking myth that the city must believe to keep functioning. 004.003, he becomes the update. Echo Rotten cannot survive the virus of memory anymore. It begs him, erase me, end this recursion, be the clean slate. He laughs. He uploads himself into the city's nervous system. Not to end it, but to haunt it forever. He becomes the streetlights, the glitches in ads, the whispers in alleyways, the part of every citizen that remembers things they never did. He becomes the background noise of guilt. Echo Rotten becomes him. Therefore, final broadcast. One last transmission goes out across all channels in every tongue. There was a man once, or maybe a virus, or maybe an idea of a man. He was broken in just the right way, and the city remembered him too hard. Now it prays in his voice. The screen flickers, the broadcast dies, silence, and then laughter, his, everywhere. And is it rebooting? Final title,